Hey there and welcome to this channel. I was sent this video by my sister actually, and it's about marriage. So if you're married, you want to be married, watch this video with me. She just said, just listen. So I'm gonna show you this video. Let's go.
I'm Peter Whitmore. I'm 73 years old. Some of you might remember me from a few weeks back. The response to that video was overwhelming, and I want to thank you for that. But today, I need to talk about something I didn't mention then, something more personal, something that changed everything about how I see relationships. And I need you to hear this, you see, because what I'm about to tell you could save you from the kind of pain that stays with you for decades. My wife, Susan, and I were married for 41 years. That's longer than some of you have been alive. And for most of that time, I thought we had a good marriage. Not perfect, but good. Solid. The kind of marriage people stay in. But here's what nobody tells you about long marriages. You can live with someone for decades and still not really know them. You can share a bed, a home, a life, and still be strangers in the ways that matter most. Susan died 6 years ago. Pancreatic cancer. Diagnosed in March, gone by July. 4 months from healthy to gone. And in those final weeks, lying in that hospice bed, she said something to me that I think about every single day. She said, "Peter, we wasted so much time being right instead of being close." Honestly, I didn't understand it at first. I was defensive. We had a good marriage, didn't we? We rarely fought. We were comfortable together. We'd built a life. But that's exactly the problem. We were comfortable, and comfortable isn't the same as connected. Let me tell you what I mean. For years, Susan would suggest things, small things. Let's take a pottery class together. Why don't we go dancing anymore? Remember when we used to stay up talking for hours? And I always had a reason why not. Too tired, too busy, too expensive, too impractical. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I just thought we had time. I thought those little moments didn't matter. I thought the big things, providing, being faithful, being reliable, I thought those were enough. They weren't. You see, I thought love was about grand gestures, being there during the crises, paying the bills, showing up. And yes, those things matter. But what I didn't understand is that love is built in the tiny, unremarkable moments. The conversations you have over breakfast, the walks you take for no reason, the way you listen, really listen, when your partner tells you about their day. I stopped doing those things, not all at once. It happened gradually. So gradually I didn't even notice. One missed conversation led to another. One "not tonight, I'm tired" led to 1,000. One "we can do that later" became never. And Susan, being Susan, she adapted. She stopped asking me to dance, stopped suggesting we take classes together, stopped trying to have those deep conversations. She found her own friends, her own activities, her own life. We became roommates who happened to be married, polite, considerate, fundamentally alone. I didn't see it. Or maybe I saw it and told myself it was normal, that this is just what happens in long marriages. The passion fades, you settle into routine, you become comfortable. But comfortable is just another word for complacent.
Wow, like literally every single day of marriage is a lesson to learn. And what he's saying here is so true. I mean, recently my wife sent me a message just saying things I would really love to do. You know, you can be blindsided and not really focus on the right thing. Best believe as a man, if you're not providing, you're going to get gunned for that. And those are the obvious things. If you're not a good father, you're going to get gunned for that. But listen, this is such a powerful message that he's sharing here. You can get comfortable and you can get complacent. And someone can get sick, God forbid, and months later they're gone. And you could be filled with regret. And it's so important. None of us want to live a life of regret. And let's just keep watching this.
Susan got sick. Everything changed. Suddenly, we had a deadline. Suddenly, all those things I thought we'd do someday had a very clear expiration date. And in those final months, we talked more honestly than we had in 20 years. She told me things I never knew, dreams she'd given up on, hurt she'd carried silently, times she'd felt invisible in her own marriage. One night, about 3 weeks before she died, she told me about a trip she'd always wanted to take to Scotland. Her grandmother was from there, and she'd always dreamed of seeing the Highlands, walking through the villages, understanding where she came from. She'd mentioned it to me multiple times over the years, and every time I dismissed it. Too expensive, not a good time. Maybe when we retire. We never went, and now we never would. She wasn't angry when she told me this.
Oh man, the Bible says that husbands dwell with your wife with understanding. And none of us are perfect. But to God be the glory for this video. Let us open up our eyes, be sensitive, and listen to what our wives are saying to us. Listen to what your husband is saying. The things that you're doing that are killing your marriage, the things that you're doing, you look like a black bag. You wear a black bag every day in the house. In other words, you look like trash in the house all the time. You talk to your husband like trash. You don't act loving. You're always complaining. Husbands, you're not listening to what your wife is really saying. Sometimes your wife just wants you just to listen to her. And when you listen to her, you hear her heart. Sometimes they didn't even want you to give a solution immediately. They just want you to listen. When your wife says something multiple times and you don't listen, wow.
That's what made it worse.
Jesus.
She was just sad, resigned, like she'd accepted years ago that I wasn't going to be the partner she needed. I asked her why she never pushed harder, why she didn't insist. And you know what she said? I didn't want to make you do something you didn't want to do. I wanted you to want to do it with me. That sentence broke me because she was right. She didn't want me to take her to Scotland out of obligation. She wanted me to want to share that experience with her, to be excited about it, to care about it because it mattered to her. And I couldn't even give her that. Listen, here's what I've learned, and I hope you're listening because this is important. The biggest threat to your relationship isn't cheating or fighting or some dramatic betrayal. It's indifference. It's taking each other for granted. It's the slow erosion of intimacy that happens when you stop trying.
The slow erosion of intimacy. The slow erosion of intimacy. What did he just say? Indifference. It's indifference. It's taking each other for granted. When we are indifferent, God, help us not to be indifferent. Help us not to be indifferent. And help us not to take each other for granted. God help us.
For granted. It's the slow erosion of intimacy that happens when you stop trying. You stop asking questions because you think you already know the answers. You stop making effort because you think your partner will always be there. You stop prioritizing the relationship because you think you have time. And one day, you wake up next to a stranger, or worse, they're gone, and you never got the chance to really know them at all.
My God. My God. Listen, I wasn't going to talk about this, but something happened in my life where I got divorced. I never realized I didn't plan to get divorced. I was like, divorce is a swear word. Divorce is a cuss word. Don't ever mention divorce to me. And I happened to get a divorce. I was married quite young. And I was in a marriage and it was about 13 years or so. And some of the things that he's saying in here is so true. I literally lived in a dead marriage. I was in a marriage, but not in a marriage. That I was in this box called marriage, as it were. But what was supposed to be going on inside that box was not going on. It's such a horrible thing to go through when you go through something like this man is talking about. When you go for a marriage where there's indifference, when you go through a marriage where you basically are in the same house, but you're basically two single people. You do things together as a married couple, but you're not really married. It's a very bizarre and strange circumstance to be in, you know? And I'm talking about literally, I was in a marriage where we didn't have sex at all. I was married at 24, divorced, and I was married a virgin, got divorced a virgin. I was married a virgin, got divorced a virgin, and I leave it there.
After Susan died, I found a journal in her nightstand. She'd been keeping it for years, and reading through it was like discovering a person I'd lived with but never truly seen. She wrote about loneliness, about feeling like she was screaming into a void, about...
I felt like this. When I said what I just said, I mean for over a decade, I was in this situation. Thank God for his mercy and for his provision. I am now married with 3 children, but I thank God for taking me out of something that was, boy, let's continue listening to this, but this is profound.
Small moments that hurt her times. I was physically present, but emotionally absent. Times I chose work over her. Times I was more interested in my phone than in what she was saying. She also wrote about love, about the man she married, about hoping that version of me would come back, about trying to reach me and not knowing how. I was right there. We slept in the same bed every night, but honestly, I might as well have been on another planet. And here's the part that kills me. It wasn't malicious. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I just got lazy. I thought showing up was enough. I thought providing was enough. I thought not doing anything wrong was the same as doing things right. But relationships don't die from dramatic failures. They die from 1,000 small neglects.
Oh my
if you're in a relationship,
God. Did you just hear what he just said? Oh, did you hear what he just said? Relationships don't die from dramatic failures. They die from 1,000 small neglects.
They die from 1,000 small neglects. If you're in a relationship right now, I want you to ask yourself some questions. When's the last time you had a real conversation with your partner? Not about logistics or schedules or what's for dinner. A real conversation about dreams, fears, ideas. When's the last time you did something just because it would make them happy? Not because it was their birthday or an anniversary, but just because. When's the last time you looked at them, really looked at them, and felt grateful they're in your life? If you can't remember, well, you're making the same mistake I made. Your partner isn't going to be there forever. I know that sounds dark, but it's true. One of you will die first. And when that happens, you don't get a do-over. You don't get to go back and have those conversations you postponed. You don't get to take those trips you kept delaying. You don't get to say those things you assumed they already knew.
Wow.
Susan and I had 41 years, and I wasted at least half of them being comfortable instead of connected, being right instead of being close, being present instead of being engaged. Don't make my mistake. Love isn't something you feel and then stop.
I'm sorry, my God. Comfortable instead of connected. Being right instead of being close. Let that sink in. Because you can really get comfortable in marriage once you've gone through the courtship, once you've, walked down the aisle, now you're married now. You may even have children, or maybe not. And now you're just comfortable. You don't care about what the other person really wants. You don't care about what the other person's heart is. You don't care about how you look, how you keep your health or your well-being. You don't care about. You don't think about yourself. The typical thing is you get married, you grow a big belly, and you start to look a little ugly. You put on weight when you get married, whatever. Your attitude stinks. The real you comes out. How some people get married and the real them comes out. They get married and then the dragon comes out. The tiger comes out. The person that they always said they would not be, they become. Jesus, have mercy. Comfortable instead of connected. Right instead of being close. Come on.
Being present instead of being engaged.
Being present instead of being engaged. They say it's important to be present. Make sure you're present. Be present. But you could be present. You could be there. But not be engaged. God help us as men. As this man made these mistakes as a married man, help every married man and every man that's not even married who aspires to be married to not make these mistakes in the mighty name of Jesus. Help us to be wise. Let's learn from this wisdom.
Don't make my mistake. Love isn't something you feel and then stop working on. Love is something you do every day in small ways and big ways.
Wow.
It's choosing to be curious about your partner even after decades together. It's trying new things together even when it's uncomfortable. It's having hard conversations even when it's easier to avoid them. It's caring about the things they care about, not because you have to, but because they matter to the person you love. After Susan died, people kept telling me I'd been a good husband, they meant well, but they were wrong. I wasn't a good husband. I was an adequate husband. I met the minimum requirements. I didn't cheat, didn't abuse, didn't abandon, but that's an incredibly low bar. Being a good partner means actively building intimacy, choosing vulnerability, staying curious, making effort, prioritizing connection, even when you're tired or busy or stressed. I didn't do those things. And now I live with the regret of knowing I had something precious and I let it slip away through sheer neglect. 6 years later, I still think about Scotland, about how little it would have cost me to say yes. A week of my time, some money, that's it. And it would have meant everything to her. I think about the pottery classes she wanted to take, The dancing lessons, the long conversations, all the small ways she tried to stay connected, and all the times I said no, or not now, or maybe later. Later never came, it never does. If you love someone, if you share your life with someone, don't wait for the perfect time to show them they matter. Don't assume they know. Don't take them for...
Don't assume. And don't take them for granted. Ask them about their dreams. I'm so thankful that me and my wife have certain conversations, and I think that this video is really making me think 100-fold. And it's so important not to take each other for granted, and to always search yourself. Ask them about their dreams. Each person's dream is very important. It's not just about you, it's about your wife, Wow. Because marriage is an everyday lesson. Every day you can do something that will, put money into an investment. You're investing money every day. You're investing something every day. Every day you can invest something. You can invest poorly or invest wisely every day. Don't take them for granted. Ask them about their dreams and listen.
Granted, ask them about their dreams. Listen to their stories. Do the things they suggest, even if they don't interest you particularly, because strengthening your bond should interest you.
Wow.
Be present. Be curious. Be intentional. Because one day you'll be where I am, sitting alone, looking through old photographs, reading journals, and realizing you had everything you needed and you didn't appreciate it until it was gone. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty. I'm telling you this because you still have time. Your partner, if you have one, is still there. You can still have those conversations, take those trips, make those memories, but you have to do it now. On my desk, I keep a photograph of Susan from our honeymoon, 1972. She's laughing, squinting in the sun, her hair blowing in the wind, so full of life and hope and dreams. And I think about the woman she became, still beautiful, still kind, but with a quiet sadness in her eyes that I put there through years of benign neglect.
Oh, Jesus Christ is Lord. Years of benign neglect. This is a soul-searching video, a video to learn from. This is, wow. 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 This is something else. Let us learn from this. This is serious. Let's not.
Susan was right. We wasted so much time being right instead of being close. Don't waste your time the way I wasted mine. Love the people in your life, actively, intentionally, while you still can. This channel features people like me sharing life advice and memories. If you found this helpful,
before it's too late, go check that out. Well, what can I say? That was an incredibly powerful video. It was something to really take stock of, so much to take stock of. And I encourage you, as it touched me, to really search my life search your life every single day. Let's be intentional, and let's not neglect the people in our life, because they will not be around all the time. It's a little bit like children. I'd probably do another video about this, about children. When your children are young, and you've got to enjoy them at every stage of their life, because when they're young, they're not going to be young forever. They're going to be big one day, and they're going to leave home. They're going to be big one day. They're not going to be cute. All minds are under 10, but they're not going to be that age all the time. They're not going to be cute. So enjoy them while they're cute, because the time's going to come when that cuteness and the things that they like to do when they're young, like coming into the bedroom, and it might annoy you sometime when you want to sleep. It might annoy me sometime when I want to sleep and my children come into the bedroom. But listen, they're not going to always want to come into the bedroom. They're not going to hug the same way they hug when they're little. And, it's just relationships. Your husband, your wife, you don't want to get to the end of it all, and you're neglecting. You've been neglectful. Hope you got something from this video like I did. Please share this video and like, subscribe, comment below your thoughts on this video. Comment below, because this was profound.